everyone. So I want to kind of explain this video before I get started. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I am a big user of regular paper agendas. I have been using agendas since I was in high school. When they provided agendas in high school, I actually used it to write everything in. I wrote like my work schedule. I worked when I'd be babysitting because I babysat back in high school and stuff. I wrote everything in my agenda. When I was in grade 11, at the end of the year, they did a poll through all the students and asked, okay, who actually uses agendas? Because if a certain percentage of us don't use agendas, we're gonna cut them. And I think only like 12% of students actually used their agendas. So they completely cut them and students no longer would be getting school provided agendas. And I was like, no, you can't do that to me. I need my agenda. But luckily, Chapters sold agendas. And so literally ever since then, I have been purchasing and using my own agendas, even though I'm not even in school anymore. I've been buying my own since 2011, as you can see. And I actually keep all my agendas because I just think they're fun, a cool thing to collect and hang on to. Today, I was just kind of hanging out and I was really bored, and I thought it'd be fun if I went and purchased stickers to put on like these blank pages in the front and in the back of my agendas. And I thought it'd be fun to kind of go through my agendas and find like things that happened, like movies that came out that year, just like maybe places I traveled to that year, to incorporate those kinds of stickers into my agendas. And as I was going through it, I was just giggling at some of the things that I was seeing in this agenda. I was only 18 years old when I used this agenda. As I was looking through this, I was like, you know, it'd be a really fun video to go through my agendas on camera and just see my reaction to them. So I thought of that when I was like maybe 5 or 6 pages into this agenda. And so after that, I put it away and I didn't look at it anymore because I want it to be like my genuine reaction as I'm looking through my agendas. So anyway, without further ado, this is me reacting to my old agendas. So first of all, I find it hilarious how thin this is. So this is my current agenda. This was my 2011 agenda. So this is my 2011 agenda. It has owls on it. And let's just dive right into it. So the first thing is I have some quotes from The Office. I think this was actually from a calendar my friend gave me, and I've taken some of my favorite ones and colored them and taped them into my agenda. Jim, believe it or not, Kevin, firecrackers are in the don't column. Kevin, so you're gonna provide them then? Jim, no, this is a firecracker-free wedding. Kevin, oh, what the hell? So then I wrote Walter Elias Disney on the one page, 1901 to 1966, obviously. I wrote Thumper plus whiteout name plus Archimedes equals BFF, and there's a heart. So that's really funny because I had like a group of friends and we were like the three caballeros, but in high school. And then one of them kind of like took off and didn't want to be a friend anymore. And so I've whited out his nickname. So it's just Thumper and Archimedes. I was so petty. In the next page, my actual agenda, or my actual timetable for my first and second semester of grade 12. So just getting into this, I'm shocked by how little writing is on each of these pages. Let me just show you an example of one page out of my current agenda. So I just open to a random page and just look at the comparison of how much writing there is in comparison to my old agenda. Like, this has nothing in it. I mean, this also doesn't have any homework or anything in it yet because school hadn't started until this Friday. Why did school start on a Friday? That is so stupid. I highlighted all my work hours. It looks like very poorly. But yeah, so like you can see, like Mall with Kate, social pages. So obviously my social study pages were for homework. Volunteering with Kelsey, work 4 to 10:30. That was my standard shift at Sobeys. Oh, and look at this, 28 more days. 28 more days till what, Jody? Oh, this is good. So on this Tuesday, I wrote 10%, and that's because that Tuesday at work was 10% Tuesday. Why I needed to put that in my agenda, I have no idea. If I had a bad day, I would always just like draw a sad face. I don't know why. And this is like how many years later. I'm like, why was I sad on September 19th, 2011? I have no idea, but I was sad enough to draw a sad face on that day. Okay, so here's a better page with more writing. Obviously, I had more homework. Get folder for work / post-secondary stuff. Print off about Disney International Program. Write resume for Disneyland. That's not even a homework. Write my resume for Disney World. That was when I was applying to work at the cultural representative program. Not even homework. Personal response due Friday. Okay, math question 9 through 10. And then I put that the office was at 5 p.m. that day, because obviously. Funny thing with this, just looking at this now, I am so like grossed out by the multiple pen colors. Like, I mean, obviously I'm still using multiple pen colors, but now I have like a system that like blue is like my to-do list, and pink right now currently is my Disney movie marathon, and then I have black for work, and then I have orange for like if I'm training with someone or who I'm working with or something, or which desk I'm covering. I still obviously use colored pens, but each pen has a purpose. Like, I don't just willy-nilly write each random pen colors on each things, where I am obviously doing that in here. And so now I'm just kind of looking like this, and I'm like, ugh, what were you doing, Jody? Oh, this is good too. Charge iPod, add songs, eye to eye from a Goofy movie. Oh, this is something I still do to this day. October 1st, 2011, I wrote Walt Disney World, 39 years old. I actually still do that to this day. There's particular dates, mostly throughout Disney history, that I still to this day will write in my agenda how old they are. I think at this point I write Walt Disney's birthday, I write Mickey Mouse's birthday, I write Oswald the Lucky Rabbit's birthday, Roy Disney's birthday, the opening of Disneyland and Disney World, the day Beauty and the Beast came out. So obviously like Disney related dates. Birthday week, and then I wrote in big highlighter here that it's my birthday. It's funny like looking at this now, because obviously I was working like different shifts and stuff because I had just a part-time job, so my shifts weren't the same every day or like even the same days each week. So obviously that makes sense that I'm writing my work schedule. And it's funny today because I literally work the same time every single day, but I still write it in my agenda. If you look back to my last like this agenda and my last agenda from when I started with my current job, I still always write what time I start and where I am, even though like right now where I am, I'm gonna be there for over a month, but I still have it written in my agenda. I clearly loved my purple pen because like everything is purple in here. I would always write funny things that people said. This was, it's a tradition in my house. Mom opens the oven and I hold a broom. This one I actually remember. There was a couple that I saw here that I was like, I don't know what this means. And this one in particular means I was at my friend's house. My friend and I were watching a movie and her mom called out to her saying, I'm opening the oven. And so my friend just like automatically stood up and went and got a broom and stood under the fire alarm, and I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, it's a tradition in our house. Mom opens the oven, I grab a broom. She does that, I guess, in case the fire alarm goes off, obviously, but it was just so funny. Like, she's just standing there with a broom. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, and this is good too. I wrote, call Sobeys and ask if we can dress up on Sunday, because Sunday was Halloween. And here I wrote in highlighter, bad morning, sad face. Why was that a bad morning? Why was it so bad worth noting it in my agenda? I might need to make multiple videos about this because I'm already like 20 minutes in and I'm only on my first agenda. And then I have a countdown. 1 week, 6 days, 5 days, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, okay. So I was counting down till I got my first tattoo. So on this day, tattoo 3:30, but you can't see it because in highlighter I wrote all big, found out about interview, because one of these days, I don't know which one because it's so big it covers both, I found out I got a phone interview at Disney World, so you know it obviously had to be really, really big. I also have noticed that I write songs here, so this is DJ Got Us Falling in Love by Usher, so I wrote that in there because that day in particular, I would not stop listening to that song. There's a couple other pages like that, like Hero by Skillet. Yeah, like I just like listened to that song over and over and over again that day. So again, I needed to note it in my agenda. For a phone interview, all in highlighter. I didn't even write the time I had it. What was I doing with my life? I didn't even write the time of the interview. I just wrote phone interview and had a big fat Mickey Mouse there. School was superhero day, so then I have an arrow going down and wrote out my costume. So for superhero day, I was actually Mickey Mouse. I'll put a picture here. I was Mickey Mouse for superhero day because I was like, Mickey Mouse is my superhero. On this day, I saw Tangled with my friends. Tangled was in theaters, so I drew in my agenda the tower and wrote Tangled, all in highlighter. I am not an object? Why did I write that? On November 25th, 2011, I wrote, I am not an object. Why? Okay, and again, back to Disney, I wrote all in highlighter. Again, I don't know which day I found out, but I just wrote in all highlighter. Found out about face-to-face interview. Because why not? Yeah. So remember at the beginning of this agenda when I was saying how my friend and I were Archimedes and Thumper, and we had another friend who didn't want to be our friend anymore, so he got booted out of our Three Caballeros group. So here's another one. A plus T plus T. You know what? I know what his nickname was. So I was Archimedes, my friend was Thumper, and then our third friend at the time, when he was still our friend, he was Took from Brother Bear. I don't know why. I have a mouse here. Oh my gosh, this was great. I have a sign. I know what that is. I found little holder that we like would put sale signs on at Sobeys, but the bottom part that it connected to actually like make it stand on a countertop or something, the bottom part broke off, so it was just like this, like the stick with the holder for the sign, and I asked if I could have it, and I stuck a piece of paper on it that I literally just wrote, I have a sign, and I stuck a piece of paper on it, and I took it to school with me the next day, and I just showed it to everyone. I was like, hey, guess what? I have a sign. I was so cool in high school. So here I went to the mall with my sister, so shopping with Tay, and I made a list of all the things that I was looking for when I went to the mall. I actually still do this to this day. I think I actually have an example because I just recently went to the mall. Mall with Taylor, need to get socks and underwear. So I do still do that. However, this list is so unorganized and gross, and I'm like, ah, what have you done? And I've extra super highlighted that I need to request these days off work. Clearly I didn't want to forget, so you know, request. I obviously didn't write it all in highlighter, so it wasn't as important as like finding out about my Disney interview or anything, but I just wrote all across here, study. This is hilarious. So this was the day of my friend's birthday, which I just noticed that she actually wrote Kelsey's B-Day in here. So she wrote that herself. This is her writing, so that's Kelsey. She took my agenda and wrote her own birthday in. I wrote in here, on card right, I was going to invite you to come live with me in Florida, but you didn't give me a braid your hair coupon for my B-Day. What? Another one I wrote in yellow marker, got grad dress, and that was because my grad dress was yellow, so obviously I had to write it with a yellow marker. This is February 14th. I have crossed out Valentine's Day, so like on here it always like has in the printing, like so here it says like full moon and stuff. It always has all the holidays and stuff, and so I've X'd out Valentine's Day because I don't like Valentine's Day. And then I wrote underneath, I don't know if this is supposed to be the 14th or the 15th, but I wrote a Sugar Bear Day. So I had a friend at Sobeys, and I told him how I really didn't like Valentine's Day, like never liked it. Even now being in a serious relationship with someone, I don't celebrate, I don't do anything on Valentine's Day. And so him and I made our own holiday called Sugar Bear Day. And I kid you not, I have a card. He made me a card for Sugar Bear Day. And I think, obviously, I bought him a present. I have here, bring Connor's Sugar Bear Day gift. I think I honestly remember I got him gummy bears. Obviously, this was a big day. This was the day I had my interview in Vancouver for Disney World. So obviously, that kid's a big, fat, green and pink highlighted. But I did actually write the time for this one. I heart Walt Disney. So this day I wrote leaving for cruise and I drew a cruise ship. Look how amazing that drawing is. I was an artist. Then I wrote in highlighter, on vacation, smiley face, because I was on vacation. On the way home I actually met a gentleman. Not a gentleman. Actually, that's a lie. I didn't meet a gentleman. I met a male species person. And so I wrote met. I'm not going to say his name. I met this guy on the plane. And at the time it was like, yay! But then it ended up being really, really bad. So, you know, I went in and I scribbled that because, no, I don't want to remember that I met him. Obviously. Here's another one that I just have no idea. Another quote thing. So my friend said monkey wrench. Why was that so notable that it was worth writing in here? I have no idea, but so I circled income tax due and then I wrote underneath it, wow. Why? Because I didn't have to do my own taxes back then? My dad still did them for me? Is that why I did that? Oh, this is great. I wrote really big here, stupid Katie. Do you want to know why I wrote that? This was like a few weeks before my final dance show, or not my final dance show, but our like one of our big rehearsals for my dance show. This one girl, she literally had like a solo in our dance piece because her mom was like BFFs with the owner of the studio. So she had like a solo in our piece. We literally were stuck practicing like the same 30 seconds of our dance routine because she didn't come to like 5 classes in a row. So we could not move on and complete our piece because we were waiting for her. Finally, on this day, my dance instructor said something to the studio manager or the studio owner. She said something, she's like, hey, so I don't know what's going on with your BFF's daughter or whatever, but she hasn't come to like 6 classes and we have the rehearsal coming up in like 3 weeks. We need to finish our piece or we're not going to be ready. Like, do you know where she is? So the owner of the studio emailed her BFF who talked to her daughter. So within that class, this girl emailed our teacher and was like, I'm sorry, I just have been really busy with this and with that and with band and this and that, and I really don't think I can make it to dance anymore. So, stupid Katie, because one, we had to literally change the whole routine because, like I said, she had a solo, so we had to reconfigure and do something else other than her solo. And also, I would just like to point out that this year I was in grade 12. I had a part-time job and, you know, a social life. I used to have a social life. I don't anymore, but I used to have a social life. And I was still able to make it to 1 dance class a week, girl. So don't come crying to me that you can't make 1 class a week work. So, stupid Katie, you got a whole written thing in my 2011 agenda. Thanks for screwing us over. Here's another good quote. 5 waffles, better surprise. What? Get batteries for calculator. My calculator needed batteries, apparently. It's just weird, mostly seeing days that are completely blank. I'm like, what? Did I not go to school that day or something? Like, why is this day blank? Because, like, obviously I'm not going to write that I have school that day, but I mean, I also write that I work every day when I know I work every day. It's just like weird. I'm like, why is this day blank? Here's the day of our grad banquet at school. As you can see, I drew fireworks and a limo and wrote grad, and it was great. All in green, walking the stage. And then here, dance show. So this was the dance show I was talking about that Katie screwed us over. This was the times and everything. And then I wrote Saw here. I remember because this day I went to the mall with my friend Nicole and I found all 7 Saw movies. I think I had some of the Saw movies up to that point, but I didn't have all of them. So I wrote Saw because I was so happy that I found the rest of the ones that I needed. So, ha! So another time I wrote all in highlighter across that I needed to study. This was obviously important because that got a highlighter. Study, and then I have in green here, officially done high school. That was the day of my last final exam. I was officially done high school forever. This is the start of my road trip I did with my family. So leaving for Las Vegas, shopping in Vegas. See, like, this is so boring to me, like, and I know I actually have some in my current agenda of like really boring days like this where it's literally just like I didn't really know what to put, so I just put shopping in Vegas, Fremont Street, and then these days switch. So swimming in Vegas was actually this day, and then Grand Canyon was actually that day, so you know. And then here's a good one, Disneyland. You know, I didn't color, do anything fun for Vegas, but Disneyland. But I wrote all across in pink highlighter, Summer Belongs to You. So the summer of 2011, that song was my theme song. Summer Belongs to You from Phineas and one of the Phineas and Ferb movies. That was my theme song. Every Facebook status I had that summer started with that because I was so cool. And that was back when I actually like posted things on Facebook. I don't so much anymore. Movie number 7 picked up at 4:30. What the hell? That was the day before you can reserve seats. Back in my day, kids, you couldn't reserve no seats at the theater. No, you had to get to the theater 6 hours ahead of the show time and sit your butt down. That's what you had to do back then. And here's the start to my boring non-high school life where I literally just worked. This was a fun trip in August of 2011. My sister and I went to Six Flags for a day. We left on the Monday. We were there the Tuesday, Wednesday, and came home on Thursday. It was a really fun trip, actually. And now we're getting into like boring stuff because I was working all the time because I was all done school and I hadn't, oh hello, I didn't say exactly what day it was, but obviously I was excited because I wrote Disney World twice in pink highlighter, and I don't know which day it was. One of these days was when I found out I had been accepted to work in Disney World at the Cultural Representative Program. So one of those days I found out I was moving to Disney World in the following June. So my next video where I do one of these agendas, you'll actually get to see some of my year in Florida. That'll be fun. Oh, here's fun. So here is when I met my ex-boyfriend, so that's gonna be fun to relive those moments when I go through these agendas. It's funny because, like I said before, I think because it was in this year when it happened that first guy that I was talking about that I met on the plane, that I wasn't talking to him anymore and he was a dick. That happened in this year, so when I was using this agenda I would go back and be like, you're a meanie, I don't like you. But in this agenda, when I met my ex-boyfriend, I, you know, it's all still hunky-dory because, and I didn't X him out anywhere because obviously, like, I had moved on to my next agenda. Like I said, that's going to be fun to go through all these agendas and see those things with him because, yeah, we definitely don't talk anymore. Why did I write this? I wrote Gene Simmons' wedding. That's how exciting my life was, that I had to document in my agenda when Gene Simmons had his wedding on his TV show that he used to have. That's how exciting my life was. Of course, and I wrote 1 month heart with my ex-boyfriend because we were so in love. I'd write 1 month with him. Gag. Oh my god, I remember this was like such an inside joke with us and she would sing this all the time. I don't even remember what this was from, but my friend wrote in it here. This is the plot to every television crime show from CSI to Columbo. Love, Kate. I don't remember what that was from, but her and I sang that all the time. Even just like certain things that I'm seeing here, like hanging out with ex-boyfriend and stuff, I specifically remember certain things happening those days that was just like a clear sign that no one in my family liked him. And I'm like, why did I stay with him? Barf. So on this day I got new glasses, so I drew a pair of glasses on the page. Another quote, I don't know where this is from or who's, I didn't even write who wrote this one, but I'd probably commit suicide. Who's committing suicide? Why? What is the, why? Oh my god. Another one, I don't know the context of this, I don't even know who said this, but from Syphilis. And that is the end of my 2011 agenda. We have come to the end of it. And, oh, who's Drew? Why do I have a phone number from someone named Drew in here? I have a small list of songs to download in the back, so let's read this. Lover, Dearest, Nobody Else But You, Pressure, Oh, take off pressure. So I wrote to take off the song Pressure off my iPod. This was in the days when I had like a little tiny purple iPod, and you know, you actually had to plug it into your computer to put music onto it and download the music onto it, and then also plug it in just to take music off. It wasn't this freaking fancy shit on your phone where you just click a song and download and you have it on your phone in 2 seconds, and then when you don't want it you say remove from library and it's gone. We don't appreciate how easy life is now. What? Fail of a death? Whoosh? What? Is that a song? What the hell does that mean? Oh, then I have someone's email. Okay, so these obviously aren't all songs to download because I have someone's email there, and like I said, some guy named Drew's phone. Who's Drew? Who is Drew? I have a list of Christmas presents to get, and then also my friend and I played Punch Buggies and also PT Cruisers, and we made a tally of who is winning, although this is definitely not accurate because according to this it is 6-5, and that is definitely not accurate because we literally played that game our entire friendship, which was a long ass time. And in the very back here, this is where I want to put stickers, but obviously I'm not going to cover these things up. My friend Kate wrote, Jodey has really curly hair, heart, Kate. Okay, and then I wrote, I only hope we never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse. Obviously I wrote that. That agenda on its own took way longer than I thought it was going to, so clearly I'm gonna have to divide up these videos and make multiple, because there's no way I can go through all of these in one video. You're going to be sitting here for 47 hours. So this is going to be its own little baby series, me going through and reacting to my old agendas. This one is definitely probably the best because it is the oldest. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up so I know to continue on with the rest of my agendas. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Stay tuned for my 2012 agenda, and just a sneak peek, it is keep calm and carry on. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you guys later. Bye everybody.